All right, welcome back everybody to another episode of Now Teslafy Cybertruck FSD Snow Edition. Today we're taking out, we just got some fresh snow. It's a little bit slushy out, but we're going to take the truck out anyway. I was hoping for a little bit more snow, but we'll probably get a good mix. So wanted to see how FSD did in the slush, especially V13 and especially the Cybertruck. So we're going to take a look at that. But first, I haven't done it in a while, and I apologize for that, but I want to shout out some of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you want to shout out, just simply sub below, and we'll get you in the next FSD video. So, it's been a while, so I've got a list here. We've got Brett, Kovabunga, Beth Dunn, Blind Tesla Guy, Chris Wallace, Dolio, Energy Technologies, A Nueva Generación y su ritmo caliente de Yani, Ann Wolf, Mr. B. Fong, It's Nate, Charlie, Rob Stewart, Rathanan Fukiat, and Ashwani Kumar. We've got a route planned in. Let me double check. That's the one I want. We're good to go there. Please pay attention to the road. Cybertruck is super sensitive to paying attention to the road, more so than my Model Y was for sure. And I actually already have a strike. It was at night. I was wearing a hat and my glasses as well, and so I think those combinations, it like was beeping at me. I was looking straight ahead. I even tilted my head up, and I just didn't work. So we're off to a good start already. The speed is, so far it's good. This road is fairly clear. No wipe yet, which is interesting. I would wipe now, but it's all right. So first, unprotected left, we'll be doing my first test loop 1, typical one that we've been doing, which has had, unfortunately, even some issues on V13, the Sellar V13. I've been able to trip it up. So we'll see what we get today and under some snowy conditions. So one of the biggest things that I've been critical of FSD in the past for snow is it just, in my experience, didn't provide... It's as if it continued en route and not taking in consideration the road conditions at all. I don't know if that's been added or if anything has been adjusted. So that's what we're mainly testing today. We've got an ambulance coming over to the left. We do get a poor weather detected warning. We'll see if we get any reaction for the ambulance. Please don't move out in front of the ambulance. It did kind of move a little bit. We got people pulled over, and it's looked like it's going to take advantage of that. So a good slow turn into the lane. The lane is kind of covered up with some slush as well. So it kind of bypassed the merge lane that's available there and just went into the main lane, which is fairly typical behavior. I've seen the truck do this once where it got into the merge lane, which is my first FSD video. So good slow around that corner, especially with the little bit slushy road conditions. I'm happy about that. Still no wipe from the wiper yet, which is interesting. My off-gassing is better. So if you also saw my first video, I apologize for the off-gassing. It was just so bad. And I didn't have all of my cleaning materials to get that done before the video, and I really wanted to get the test loop done as soon as possible because I was so excited for V13 and for the Cybertruck to try it out. But I'll leave a link to the description below. Adam's Brilliant Polish is the first step. You haze up the window, you wipe that off, it nice and clean, nice and slick. Then I took some of my rinseless wash over the inside, and did a final clean, and it is nice, slick. I even got a little invisible glass tool to help get me down way in the middle. That is a challenge for sure. You will need a tool to get down there. My arms are a little bit longer. I did have to push in the wheel to get really in there. And it was a challenge, but it is so much better. It looks fantastic. I'm happy with the results, and probably even better than I even got in my Model Y, because I never did the inside of the glass that well in the Model Y. All right, so road conditions here are wet. Finally got a wipe there from the Cyber Katana, the Hyper Wiper, as I've called it as well. At any rate, so this isn't super challenging. It's just wet, which is a little not what I was looking for. I was hoping for a little bit more snow-covered roads. It was sticking for a while, but it looks like we got there's enough traffic today to kind of clear it up, and then probably some of the snow plows have gotten to some of the side streets as well. If I really don't see anything on this route, which now that I'm on the road, I don't expect to see much snow-covered roads. I think it's going to be wet like this for the majority of the drive. Maybe I will take it out onto some neighborhood roads and see if I can get some level of indication on how it treats some of those side streets that may not have had a lot of traffic or have been plowed yet. But at any rate, we'll finish the test loop here because it's always good just to do it. Nothing has changed since the last time I've done it. I've done it a couple of times. I haven't filmed one other time and just simply decided to not release it. It wasn't impressive, and it didn't really have anything new to add that my first video didn't show. So we'll see. So I'm gonna treat this one as the one I'm gonna publish as my most recent. Also because I was able to get my shout out to subscribers in there. I had been forgetting to put together the full list of subscribers recently, and that's something that I like to do, especially right at the beginning of the video. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you made it even this far in the video, hopefully you're interested enough. And please, I just need a little over 40, I think, subscribers to get to 1,000. Then finally I'll get some level of monetization on YouTube, which would be great. I've got some other accessory videos, especially for the Cybertruck coming out. I've actually been rocking Joa's floor liners in the Cybertruck, custom fit for the Cybertruck, of course. They handle up well. One thing that I have liked over the all-weather mats that come with the came with my truck, I think I got lucky. I did get lucky. I got like all the interior and some of the bed stuff from the Foundation Series accessories that typically come with the truck. I don't have a Foundation Series. I didn't pay extra for them. They were just in the truck, so I'm not going to ask questions. Anyway, so I got the all-weather liners that came with the truck, or that you can get from Tesla. And my complaint with those is while they were a phenomenal fit, they were nice and heavy, they're slick, which is strange, right? Like, you know, you get in a weather like this where you've got slush and snow coming in, and your feet are wet. My wife made the exact same comment too, and she got in. Like, these are really slick for how they are. And so you want to get into your truck confidently, that you're not going to slip, and the Joa mats do that really well. So already love that about the Joa mats. And a bit of a spoiler of what I'm going to end up saying about them in a kind of a roundup video with some other cool accessories got from Joa. So we're going to do a quick stop. Awesome. Well done, Tesla. Is it going to go? Full stop. And then, yep, good. All right, so I was about to hit the accelerator, but it went ahead and did it. So that's actually a really great scenario that I haven't been able to get on camera a couple, maybe one other time, and I can't remember if I even published it. But crosswalk, stop. Once a person crosses and it changes to blinking lights, which you're supposed to pull up, stop completely, and then proceed when it's clear, and it did that. I almost did the accelerator press because we were definitely doing the full NHTSA stop, and it got really uncomfortable for about a half a second, and then the Cybertruck just went ahead and went. So I need to be more patient, right? But perfect execution of a scenario that actually, you know, is a fairly rare occurrence. It happens. I go this route many times a week, and I really only encounter that a handful of times a month, if that. Maybe 2 or 3 times every couple of months. So, good speed through here, although again, we're not really having inclement weather now. But nice and smooth. And we're getting to the top of the Pybus challenge, which continues to challenge FSD. So if you're new to the channel, again, thank you, welcome. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. But Pybus challenge is simply this. At the bottom of this hill is the Pybus market, and this right lane here is a right turn only lane. It often wants to stay in that lane. Luckily, we've already made that move over to this lane in order to go straight to get into the market. So as long as it stays in this lane, we're good to go. However, in a few different occasions, not only has it made another move back over to the right lane, then to end up wanting to go straight through the right turn only lane again, but even after we got through that one, there's another one right up ahead that I hadn't had an issue with before, and it purposefully got into the right turn only lane. And if you take a look at our marker here, our marker is actually right there, and then the lane points right up to the middle, so it should simply go straight. Let's see what happens. We're in the correct lane here. This is perfect. This is where we want to go. Our destination is again straight through this stop sign, which is indicated. Let's hope that it stays in this lane and makes it into the market, which is in this lane, and it's going to make a left. A left, I would say, might be acceptable, and I think it's wanting to make a left as it's indicating through the light. So it waited too long on that stop, confused the Xterra here, and then we're gonna go, and we've got our signal on, so we made it. Although the signal actually should have been turned on after we got into the market, so very good. We'll also see what happens here. I have not had it want to park yet, but maybe this time it will give it a shot, or maybe it's just going to pull right over to the side. So I'm going to give it a second here to figure out what it wants to do. And is it going to back in? We'll see. I have not gotten any rear indication. I don't think it has the capability yet to back. So I'm not, okay, so I do have somebody behind me here. We're going to go ahead and just move forward. So there's somebody coming into the market. So otherwise I would have given it time to try and do. But I don't think my truck yet has the reverse capability. Again, being newer to the Cybertruck, I have not seen it try a reverse attempt. We certainly did not get it to do it there, at least in a quick way. So we're going to put in our end loop here and head back. So far, flawless drive. Even during the Pybus challenge issue that we saw in my first video, and that I have experienced in subsequent videos that I haven't posted yet, with that right turn only. So far so good, and let's see if it will actually. Okay, so I have had issues with it before, pulling out of the lot not going the right way, even though it was mapped, and we did it correctly that time. So again, off to a phenomenal return trip start for what was supposed to be a snow video. We're really far back here from the line, so it's going to go ahead and proceed even though it was basically not even at the stop line. So that's fine. It was our appropriate turn, but man, that was, I mean, probably my Model Y could have fit in between us and that stop line. All right, so the main thing to look at the tail, the next phase that we're looking at. So we got two quick succession left turns here, unprotected lefts, which may or may not be a challenge. They usually aren't. But the main next thing that I'm looking for is once we get off the bridge, making sure that it stays in the appropriate lane on that bridge exit. So if we are uneventful here, I may end up just double timing it to that event. Man, it is being really cautious around these lefts, going quite slow. And I do wonder if it has something to do with, obviously we're in the standard, we're not even in chill or hurry. But I wonder if there is any validation to it, maybe taking into consideration the stopping time, the etc. for the road conditions. So creeping up a bit in order to get some visibility. I actually kind of missed that indication here on the screen to let us know that that's what it was doing. But it also has gotten way better telegraphing that that's what it's doing when it gets to that line by not, proceeding, and you can tell it's doing that. So that's the great thing, is it's an intuitive roll forward, just as I would do it, to increase visibility. But an extra confirmation on the screen would always be welcome. I don't know what the harm would be in just having that, especially for folks that maybe aren't as experienced with FSD. And if I choose not to fast forward this, I'm going to go on a bit of a diatribe here, since I have some time and this isn't super interesting. The Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas. And I will say intentional by someone putting gasoline and fireworks in the back of it. Nothing to do with the Cybertruck itself. In fact, it is pretty much uncontestable that the Cybertruck saved lives and property damage by not exploding like a traditional gas ICE vehicle would. So if that had been in a regular Ford F-150 loaded up with 30 gallons of fuel on top of the stuff that was in the back, that would have been extremely devastating. So the fact that the battery pack was still intact, the wheels were still on, and it looks like the stainless steel exterior contained a lot of the outward blast, a lot less damage was caused, and really did provide some testament to the toughness that this beast offers. Obviously everybody was thinking from the outside in, right, protecting the contents inside, but clearly it was even enough to protect stuff from happening from the inside out. Some other theories that have gone in place that I've seen on X, that the driver somehow was remotely driven there, FSD was used in some way to navigate there, that perhaps the driver was already not alive as he got to the spot, therefore maybe using something like actual smart summon. We are going a little bit slow here. This is slow. But we can absolutely speed up. And we're doing so very slowly. So that was slower than I would like to go, but it was fine. And the one thing I will say right off the top of the bat, actual smart summon is not available for the Cybertruck right now as it sits. And as of that Las Vegas incident, it was not an option to use smart summon in any way. So there is no way that vehicle could have been controlled through actual smart summon. Also, I have to be attentive in order to enable full self-driving in any destination. So I suppose there is a slight perfect. So that was the challenge. Looks like if everything else goes well here, this is going to be a completely perfect drive of Test Loop 1. What would be considered fairly inclement weather. We're going a little bit slow. However, with the road conditions possibly, I love seeing that, to be honest. So, but they're not so wet in the fact that we can't go a little bit faster, in my opinion. But it's still very safe. It is way safer than I actually thought it might end up being. And we're going to have a perfect test loop drive. The rest of the route is very easy and has never been an issue for full self-driving for several versions, even on my Model Y. So I don't expect anything out of the ordinary to finish the test loop. So well done. Perfect drive. Love to see it. And this is even after some mess ups from my first couple of drives and recordings of this test loop. So I don't know what, if anything, has changed. It's one of those things where it's so opaque on the consumer end if things can be adjusted. I know there are some things that can be adjusted from Tesla's end to tweak certain things, but generally nothing that should make a significant difference. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I wish I did. I don't know anybody knows how to explain it when it will consistently do something wrong for a long time and then inconsistently do it. So we also could have gotten lucky. That's also a real possibility. However, again, very, very comfortable drive, very smooth, not jerky at all, confident in its well, it was slow. So I wouldn't say there was any like confidence in like acceleration or anything like that. Everything was just very smooth and maybe chauffeur-like, right? So not wanting to jostle passengers, you might take this same type of grandma approach. And, to be honest, that's probably all right. I would say this would be a chill mode. We're in standard, but I would expect something like the acceleration, behavior, etc. in chill mode that we have seen. But anyway, happy with it nonetheless. And then back to Las Vegas. Apparently, and I don't have all the details yet, but apparently the driver was still in the car, possibly with a bullet wound to his head. That's what I think I have read some places. And some people also saying that it was a Desert Eagle. I don't know where all this information actually comes from or if it's been verified, but that's what I heard. Gunshot wound, Desert Eagle. Couple of options. Maybe the passenger was still alive after, or the driver was still alive after the explosion and decided to do it that way, which then would probably account for, people questioning why didn't the sound go, why didn't the gunshot perhaps, wasn't that an issue, or was somebody hear it before the explosion if that was the case? Yeah, probably. And it probably would have busted or at least cracked some whistles. And there was somebody standing on the sidewalk. So they probably would have heard it. But, maybe afterwards, if the person was still living, then that could have been an end result, which I don't think people would have paid attention to after such dramatic aftermath. Hard to say. Obviously, we'll leave it, wait for further information. But very fishy. I don't think that there's really any credence at all at this point to say that FSD was used, although we'll find out since Tesla is also involved in the investigation. And I also vehemently deny that there would be any ability for somebody to remotely control the Tesla Cybertruck to that destination with the unalive person inside. Just not happening. It's not a capability, not even... we have heard of actual internal testers verified the actual smart summon was coming, and then nobody in the early access group for software releases has it either. So those are my thoughts on the Las Vegas situation. Cybertruck in the end saved lives. Elon is going to restore it, that exact truck, to working order, which is again kind of a cool testament to the toughness of this truck. And very cool. And then also very cool, we have a perfect drive on our test loop 1 in inclement weather. Very cool. We're gonna be able to complete this drive with a plum. So that will do it for this video. I'm gonna see if this street actually, maybe I'll let it. Well, let's see. This is a pretty snow-covered street. It needs to stop somewhere. This is snow. Boy, I'm concerned about some sliding, but it's handling it okay. It's gonna pull over somewhere, maybe. It's avoiding the trash cans. Wow. And we're finding a good spot to stop, and on level ground. So, very interesting choice, but appropriate for stopping on snow. So, to be honest, a little bit nervous, but it ended up working out. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's put in a quick out destination. We'll see if it will do. We'll see if it will. Ooh, I'm gonna go up here, and we'll see if we can get it to turn around in this cul-de-sac, and then see if these roads are also, by chance, snow covered still like this one. So this is a pretty good snow covered road. Let's see if any of these other neighborhoods. So I've still got it in drive. It's turning its wheel like it's going to do it. Last time I waited a bit and it actually ended up completing the maneuver. So being a cul-de-sac, we've got no traffic obviously on this road. We're going to give it a little bit of time here and see if it will move out on its own. So I'm going to give it an accelerator tap. We got steering wheel movement. And now it's finally going to go. Okay. So it maybe just needed a little bit of additional support. And then now we've got to make a U-turn here in the cul-de-sac. Snow-covered cul-de-sac. And a nice... So this is another... Oh. Again, not knowing the dimensions of the Cybertruck, yeah, that was close for me. But it confidently went through that U-turn. Four-wheel steering for the win. Oh my goodness. Now we're going up this hill. We're sliding a bit. Yep, take over immediately. All right, so we got the double lights. We got the hazard signals. It wanted me to take over probably because it was, again, feeling a bit of a slide. Let's see if we can re-engage it here now. I've got it straight. All right. So now that I've got it straight, all right, out of the cul-de-sac, out of the super heavy snowy road, that worked out quite well, actually. Again, I'm still not familiar with the dimensions, so that U-turn next to that Subaru was a little bit tight, but I guess they could have put on the cameras, that front bumper camera. That would have been a good idea. I'm still not used to even having that ability yet, too, which is pretty cool. But let's check out some other roads here. I think these ones are probably going to be a little bit more used than the one we were just on. Man, that was a good example, actually. I'm glad it kept the video rolling because we were on a hill, we had a cul-de-sac, snow covered. We were able even to see what happens when it maybe is afraid of finishing the maneuver. And yeah, good stuff. And we're going to have to kind of shimmy around this. Postman, thank you, Mr. Postman. He's going to back up a little bit. We're going to go around him anyway. Good stuff. Well done. Just not even a blink for that going around the truck. Very, very nicely done. All right, so the road's clearing up here a bit. And again, I expect them to actually. We're going to be going up some more hills, so it could end up becoming a little bit more slidey. But these are pretty well taken care of roads generally. We'll take a left here, and there's definitely some like snow banks and things from plows kind of moving some snow around, and then of course homeowners shoveling that back out into the road, perfectly avoiding some of those. That's great. And kind of peeking around this corner. This poor guy back here with his Model Y Performance, still got his Uber turbines on. Hopefully he got the winter wheel set, because man, those summer tires are going to be challenging here. We've got our destination here to kind of put in, and we'll just keep rolling here. Let's finish up at the bottom of this development here. Yeah, I know. We'll go here. All right, so we'll finish up and we'll kind of go through this development a little bit more. We got some blinking, good. All right, taken care of. we're going to be going downhill. So I'll be curious now if it slows a bit going down this hill. Slush shouldn't be too big of a factor, but yeah, nice 15 miles an hour. I can feel it, the regen, gentle regen, keeping it at 19. This is nice. This is definitely about the speed I'd be going on this slush in a heavier vehicle. So I'm gonna have to do some more testing to see if there is some level of some level of consideration being done for the snow and slush. And at this point, I would say the jury is out. But I'm leaning towards yes. I'm leaning towards it, recognizing there is some slush on the road and taking that into consideration as it's moving about, which is impressive and definitely a key part of FSD operating in different climates, especially my lovely friends in Northern Europe, Sweden and Norway and the like. You guys love your Teslas. I love Northern Europe as well. Still got to visit someday. But you're going to need this for your winter times too, right? So that will do it for this video. I want to thank everybody again for watching.